Today we're going to take a neighborhood tour of Okanagan Landing, which is one of the originally developed sub-areas of Vernon. We're going to see what it has to offer newcomers to the area, and we're starting now. Hi, I'm Lisa Salt with Remax Vernon Salt Fowler, and today we're talking about Okanagan Landing, one of the originally developed areas of Vernon, and also one side of this beautiful lake. We'll take a brief look at the history of the area, the lakes, beaches, and parks, of which there are many, the amenities, and of course give you a tour of the Okanagan Landing real estate. Before we do though, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel below as we release new information videos every single week. Okanagan Landing is a huge area that starts about 5 minutes maybe from downtown Vernon and then heads all the way out to the head of Okanagan Lake and then all the way down the east side of Okanagan Lake. Okanagan Landing was developed in 1892 when the Shuswap and Okanagan Railway from Sicamous was completed. It was built as a shipyard actually to construct and maintain steamships on Okanagan Lake, and these steamships made Okanagan Lake a commercial highway actually from 1892 until 1936, where they hauled mail, people, and cargo from Vernon to Penticton and back. Now, what started as this shipbuilding facility over 100 years ago is now one of the most popular beaches in Vernon called Paddlewheel Park. You can learn all about the steamships at the Station House Museum, and the Paddlewheel Hall is also available for rent. After that, you can enjoy the park and the beach area. You can play tennis or learn pickleball, play beach volleyball, basketball, or the kids can play in the play center that is modeled as a steamship. It's also the #1 place to launch your boat and #1 place to pick a fight with someone who doesn't follow the boat launching rules. At the head of the lake, we have Kinsman Beach Park, or Kin Beach as we locals know it. It's a beautifully huge park and accompanying beach. It has other amenities too, with a picnic shelter, beach volleyball, and a really cool children's play center. There's also talk of a dog park coming soon to the west side of the beach, so keep your ears open for that. Next to Kin is a separate beach area that's actually not owned or operated by the Parks Board, but by the Okanagan Indian Band called Sandy Beach. Lakeshore Park and Beach is a new addition to the list of beaches and the third beach at the head of the lake. This beach was used for a long time actually by the locals, but it recently underwent a revamping and was transformed into this really cool family and dog-friendly park. The park features a brand new playground, picnic tables, gardens, and a nice white sand beach with gorgeous views of Okanagan Lake. And most importantly, this is the only beach I know of offering bocce. These 3 beaches at the head of the lake, they're all nice beaches, however, sometimes they aren't the cleanest, unfortunately. For anyone who camped in Vernon as a kid, many of you would have camped at Camp Hurlburt. The camp operated by the Trinity United Church for more than 80 years until it closed in 2013, and then it sold to the regional district in 2015. They've made a really beautiful new park here, with the main attractions being the level, large pebble beach, swimming from the shore or from the dock. There are some really nice areas for a picnic, and on the one side of the dog-friendly beach, it becomes even more dog-friendly as it's an off-leash area. Perfect for Fido. A little bit further down the road, we have Ellison Provincial Park. Established in 1962, Ellison is located almost at the end of Okanagan Landing Road and includes 220 hectares of forest leading down to the rocky shoreline and the sheltered coves, which are beautiful. They have clear jade-colored waters and red sand beaches. And don't forget the dog beach. That's a major attraction. There's many hiking trails within the park that take you through super interesting geological rock formations and over high cliffs that boast just these awesome views overlooking the shores of Okanagan Lake. And many a cliff jumper has enjoyed these cliffs over the years, that's for sure. There's a large campground within the park that has 71 spacious campsites in a forested setting and also many picnic areas. And on the hill, Ellison extends to a massive trail system for mountain biking that's a huge attraction for all ages and abilities. There are a few other small lake accesses that have been recently surveyed and created into more known public beaches, such as Red Sand Beach in Delcliffe and White Point, which isn't too far from there as well. Both really small but beautiful beaches. Then of course there's Marshall Field, which is the only park we're going to talk about today with no beach. It's a mixed-use park with a huge off-leash dog park area. There's lots of trails throughout for the canines or the bicyclists, and then there's also what it's most known for, which is soccer, both outdoor and indoor. And then also tennis, pickleball, which has a huge indoor facility, and baseball. Moving on to the schools, there's 3 schools that service Okanagan Landing, 1 secondary school and then 2 elementary schools. The new Clarence Fulton Secondary School, which used to be in Polson Park, where I went to school, it was rebuilt in its current location right around 1993. School's on 30 acres now of parkland, which is called Graham Park, and it's bordered by Vernon Creek to the north and Okanagan Avenue to the south. It's grades 8 through 12 and has baseball diamonds, soccer, rugby and football fields, sand volleyball courts, outdoor basketball courts. It's a really beautiful property. Ellison Elementary is across from Fulton and up the road just a little bit. It's a newer school to the area, built in 1998, and has students from kindergarten to grade 7. It's surrounded by a nice but small park and field with a good-sized playground area. Okanagan Landing Elementary is the oldest school. I know that because I went there and my sisters went there, so it must be pretty old. It overlooks Okanagan Lake, which is cool, probably something that none of the kids appreciate, but we as adults do, and has students from kindergarten to grade 7. There's 2 big fields there, a big playground area, and also it looks like there's a garden area as well. I assume that the students work on that together, which is pretty cool. As for the amenities around Okanagan Landing, of course, the farther you get into town, the more amenities you have. First thing on the list is the Bilo Mall. I don't know if it's actually called that, but that's what we call it because it has Bilo there. And it has a McDonald's, which is pretty exciting. And right next door, if you need your fix, is a Timmy's. Other kind of fixes, you get your pizza fix at Papa John's right next door, the Greenhorn as well. Then you also have a liquor store, drive-through liquor store, and then the Longhorn Pub as well, which is a super popular place in the Okanagan Landing area. There's 2 gas stations and 2 convenience stores very close to one another. And then there's a flower spot where you can get all your bedding plants open in season. A number of mini storage places for all your storage needs. And then of course we have the Vernon Airport for small aircraft, the Cal Tire Jet, and for some parachuting, helicopters too. Okanagan Landing has its own fire hall, which is kind of an important amenity. And following that, there's also the Outboard Waterfront Pub, which is a restaurant and patio at the marina. Kind of a nice place to spend a few hours in an afternoon right on Okanagan Lake. And there just happens to be a liquor store too. And then there's the Vernon Yacht Club, where you can moor your boat if you can get through the waiting list, or you can become a social member and then have access to all the facilities, just not the boat moorage. There's 2 popular churches around Okanagan Landing. There's the Okanagan Landing Community Church, which adheres to the beliefs of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. And then there's the Living World Lutheran Church as well. There's also a great walking and bike path that leads all the way from the Vernon City end of Okanagan Landing and all the way to Paddle Wheel Park. There's so many different types of real estate in the Okanagan Landing area that will just highlight some of the different categories. The first is, being on the east side of the lake, there's going to be many waterfront developments. Let's start with the Outback. It's a gated waterfront resort community with over 4,000 feet of beachfront and 60 acres of preserved woodland. It's right next door to Ellison Park, has 5 distinct neighborhoods and 5 distinct price ranges, so it's a great opportunity for somebody to get into a vacation home or vacation rental property. Another good option for something like this is the Strand, which has 105 units, and it's a mixture of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom condos. And there's a pool, hot tub, beach, dock, all sorts of stuff like that, and it also allows nightly rentals. Now, if you still want strata, but you don't necessarily want the budget or the responsibility of being on the lake, then there's always something like the Mandalay, which is a beautiful apartment building with all the facilities of a resort community. Great lake views right across from the yacht club and just down the road from Paddle Wheel Park. There's quite an assortment of family-oriented townhouses as well in a more affordable price range. And then still close to all the parks and beaches and amenities. You're only minutes away from all of those amenities that we talked about earlier. If you'd rather have a more adult-oriented feel, then something like South Valley Ranch would be a great opportunity for you. It's a bare land strata and a very, very popular development close to shopping and bus stop, etc. Another very popular adult-oriented option is the Breeze and Snowberry Breeze, also along Okanagan Landing Road, also close to all the amenities, and like I say, very popular choice. If you still want that community feel but want something a little bit bigger with a lake view and more on-site amenities, you might try Seasons in the Okanagan. Seasons is a detached bare land development with killer lake views, RV parking, and a community center down below. Moving into the single family options, there's a number of family-oriented areas. This one is Fulton View, right by the Fulton and Ellison schools, so your kids can walk to school each and every day with no problem. Then there's Long Acre Drive, which is a well-established, mature area with nice lake views and a very close distance to Okanagan Landing Elementary School. There are some new home options in this area as well, with some beautiful views and very, very close to the school. If you're looking for something a little bit more rural, if you go out Okanagan Landing Road and it changes to East Side Road, then you'll find Sunset Properties. The houses here are all on really large rural lots. Some have really beautiful lake views also, and some are just built for privacy. If you're looking for an even larger acreage where you may want to have a few animals or park a lot of stuff on, if you have a lot of toys, then along Okanagan Avenue you might find something that's right for you. And of course, last but not least, the Lakeshore homes. They come in all shapes and sizes, very old to very new, some on flat lots direct to the lake, and some perched on a cliff. Make sure to download our free copy of our relocation package to find out more about what other areas of Vernon have to offer besides Okanagan Landing, and the link is below.